Bijetri. I'm the Managing Director and Chief Strategy Officer of Institute for Pioneering Insightful Research and EduTech Private Limited, InsPIRE. And as a startup company in the research, consultancy, and EduTech industry, I feel that marketing tools play an inevitably vital role in promotion, networking, marketing, and so on. I was recently going through the latest Deloitte 2021 Global Marketing Trends report, and something that really caught my attention was the result of a consumer survey conducted about the effectiveness and use of digital marketing tools, and of which I think something that I'll share with all of you. 66% said that since the COVID-19 pandemic started, they have increased their appreciation for well-designed technology. And 63% believe that after the COVID-19 pandemic, they will be using digital technologies more than what they did prior to the outbreak. As you know, things are changing. The world is more connected now. We are all connected now online. Small businesses have learned the art of smooth marketing. Consumers have started appreciating technology based marketing and product tools. And I have always believed that technology is here to grow and stay for not just our generation, but for the generations to come. Now, to quickly just tell you about some of my topics among the numerous marketing tools for startups, I believe, at least for me and according to my interest, it would be AI, live streaming, chatbots, gamification, and in-app games and activities. Now, as you know, that smart bidding and marketing is the name of the game these days, and AI is among the top players in it. Something that is all set to take over HI, that is human intelligence in situations where humans can no longer work on rudimentary systems. And one of the interesting things about AI is how it has slowly become a part of our lives, from apps to maps, entertainment, to creating smarter advertisement experience, to even hiring and firing in the organization. And I don't think there is anything that AI hasn't touched upon yet. And I feel that since AI is a part of our lives now, from phones to laptops to smart TVs to kitchen appliances, AI, machine learning, and the Internet of Things revolution is here to change the game in the future as well. Now, another marketing tool that I feel is really effective, especially since the pandemic started, is live streaming. Now, earlier people were not quite sure about whether live streaming is the right thing to do if they want to market their product, they want to market their company. But live streaming has become really popular, and starting from webinars to sponsored chat shows to virtual launches of startups these days, to even board meetings. Everything can be done on live streaming, and I think it's a very good platform and a very good marketing tool. Meta at that time, Facebook, delved into live streaming and eventually added the feature to Instagram as well, as you know, Instagram Live and Facebook Live. And what an experience it is for us, right? To sit at home and be part of the events just at the click of the mouse. And I think if startups especially start using more of live streaming and AI as their marketing tools, I think they're going to do wonders. Then another thing is chatbots. And chatbots have been around here for quite some time. And I remember chatting with the chatbot on a website some years back where I was searching for some rare books as a student. And it was an experience that made me realize at that time around, I think 2013 or 14, that chatbots definitely have an impeccable response time and are a great marketing tool, especially perhaps consultancy-based service providers who can quite effectively use chatbots on their landing pages. I think this is something, again, that if we use the right kind of technology and we use the right kind of models, I think a lot of startups are going to do really well using chatbots as well. Especially, I feel for consultancy-based service providers who can quite effectively use chatbots, and they can interact more with their clients. They can interact more with the consumers or the customers who come to them for any kind of consultancy-based queries. And finally, now coming to gamification, which is a trend that is slowly catching up. Maybe in a few years' time, I feel that gamification will be among the top list of marketing tools that companies would be looking for. And I think gamification in itself at present cannot be taken as an independent marketing tool, and you really need to, add a lot of other interesting elements to it at present. Like, for example, it could be an AI-based gamification marketing tool, or it could also be, an AR VR experience. I think the list could be endless, but I think gamification as of now has not really been explored by most startups. And I think, especially the startups that are there in the entertainment industry, or they are there in the technology industry in some way, or maybe even if a company is in the edutech industry, I think they should really consider using gamification as a marketing tool. Because, and it's not just about, so when I speak to a lot of people and I talk to them about my ideas for gamification, there are some cliched ideas that people have in their mind about gamification, that it's all about just playing some particular random game, and from there you win some trophies, or you win some badges. I think the experience in itself is something to educate the user, to inform the user of the product, for example. Or, for example, if we were to talk about a random edutech company, the edutech company could, for example, use gamification as an important marketing tool to attract students, to attract more users of their edutech app, for example. If they can use these, I don't think they should make it too elaborate, but I think they can use some elements of a short game or something like that, which will function not only as a marketing tool, but can also enhance the learning experience for those who, for example, take subscription to their program or something like that. Now, another tool which is not directly related to the ones that I was talking about, but I think especially when we play, games on apps, or we operate certain apps. At times, you do have um, at times the annoying advertisements that come up, but along with that, you sometimes do have these small in-app games. I think that again can be a very potential, that has a great potential to be a great marketing tool in the future. And I think, um, not just for the experience of entertainment, but for the experience of, understanding how well technology is growing these days. I think startups especially should consider using these kinds of marketing tools to make the experience for themselves as well as for their customers much better. Thank you so much.
Bijetri, thank you very much for the session. This was really an insightful session for us. Hope everyone enjoyed it. What I wanted to, I had a personal question, so that's why I asked host to, stay back. The only question that I had, this came up while people was registering for the session. The question is, gamification seems, the implementation seems to be very, how should I put, messy sometimes. So especially in education sector, how do you really ensure that happens smoothly? If
I would not really comment on how the technology is going to be developed and used, but I think a very basic thing that, especially if an edutech company is thinking of using gamification as a tool as well as a product. For example, they are
Mhm.
using it as a marketing tool, and then once you are totally impressed by their marketing, you then decide to subscribe to their product or buy their product. I think an important aspect of gamification that companies need to keep in mind is that let it not be monotonous. Now, for example, this is an example that I keep citing a lot of times when I talk about gamification and how it can be made a better experience. I think, for example, if we were to teach something about Newton's laws of motion, so the experience, the kind of gamification tools that one edutech company could use could give different experiences to different people. And I think it should not just be about being based on the game that one is being made to play while they are learning. It should more it should concentrate more on the learning experience along with what did the person achieve. And when I said that it should not be monotonous, I meant that I have actually, checked a few apps that say that they use gamification. But at times, what happens is that even after you have, for example, crossed a particular, stage in your learning experience, even then you are still stuck in that similar kind of, game pattern or the similar kind of session that you took while you were trying to move to the next level, for example. And that makes it really monotonous. So I think this is one I think this is just a feedback, I would say, to the startups or the technology based companies or edutech companies that are trying to use gamification as a tool. It's a very powerful and effective tool, and I think it should be used in the right direction and the proper way. And I think the experience that gamification in itself can provide, I think it has still not been explored that well. And I feel that the moment technology-based companies or edutech companies start discovering new ways of developing on their gamification models, I think it's really going to do wonders.